All right, guys, and welcome back. I know it's been a while, maternity leave and all that's fun stuff, and then holidays, but we are back with Turtle Recall Weekly News. What is going on? And I am, of course, joined by Mike, who does not have any maternity leave thing, but I'm happy to have you back.
I ran out of my maternity leave hours
Yeah, exactly.
by not having any kids. So, uh, no, welcome back, Jason. It's been far too long since we did the show. Like I think I was looking at our DMs and I was like, God, the last episode we did was like in November.
Yeah, it was like November or October. Like, obviously my son was born. My was born in October, and then
Yeah.
so full discretion, the plan was to come back in like end of November and December, like before like a 2 week hiatus. But just having two children was a lot more than what I expected. And then yeah, and then also on the unfortunate side, I mean, nothing big concerning or anything like that, but uh, uh, our youngest that was just born is diagnosed with mild hearing loss, which is okay. The good news is it's just mild. It's not that big of a deal. He just has to wear hearing aids for the rest of his life. But that's
Oh.
yeah, exactly. But that's like really it. And as I like telling my wife and like everyone else, that's just basically glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I've had friends in high school that wore hearing aids. He doesn't have to go to a different school. He doesn't have to
Mm.
learn sign language. He can
And
hear everything well. It's just that, especially at this point, like we want his speech
mm.
not be delayed, and so that was another
and who
thing that.
knows? By the time he gets older, like there'll probably be cool like medical advances where it's like he'll have like a cool cyborg ear or something.
Exactly, that's exactly what I was saying
Like
too.
I'd be so down for that.
Oh yeah, exactly. And what I was telling my wife was like, you know what? I'm actually kind of jealous of him because like my dad has hearing aids, and I love the way
Mm.
like my dad does it because like sometimes my mom will like talk and then like he just like purposely like turns it off so he like or like pretends he turned it off like, and he'll be like, oh no, I didn't hear it. And like I'm like, man, I can't wait till I get to that point in my life where I can just like do like messing things like that. I was like, I'll be like, oh, we're gonna tell him to wash the dishes, and all of a sudden he's gonna be like, oh, my hearing aids turned off. I didn't
Clean
hear
my
what you said.
room.
Yeah, clean.
Clean my room. What?
What? Play video games? I think that's what you said, right?
I think that's what you said, Mom. Yep. There you go.
Yeah. And I can't see has joined us. What is going on? Long time. No it's no C pun not intended, but thank you for coming back. And yes, we did change the time. We used to be at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but 11 p.m. I felt was a little better only because two kids like this doing with their sleep schedule. That was the other thing. So this week on the podcast, we are still on a list on our podcast. Anna will be coming back next month. We're waiting until our youngest be able to sleep through the night. So he's still in that age where he still like wakes up in the middle of the night to like he needs feedings. But next week next month we will have her back. This week I will be joined by a special guest and we will be talking about Shredder's Revenge, which ironically we
Ooh.
recorded like way before my maternity leave, so it's a little
I was
overdue.
gonna say, I remember when you recorded that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then I know your podcast you did some season 5 episodes.
We did we're almost towards the end of season 5, but we came back from our holiday hiatus just today.
Oh, nice.
So Ninja Turtle Power Hour is back for the new season. We started off this year talking about um, kind of we're in the last probably the last third of season 5. So that was Raphael, Turtle of a Thousand Faces, Leonardo the Renaissance Turtle, and Zack and the Alien Invaders.
Oh, fun stuff. Yeah, I know. I know season 5 still has focus episodes. Like those go away at season 6. I
Yeah,
can't.
and I'd specifically mentioned it in that episode, in our episode today, that it had just dawned on me that like everybody got a focus episode this season, including Zach. So like all 5 turtles.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
There's
Technically,
like
Zach's
there's
wasn't a focus episode. I mean, it did focus on him, but he was not on that second half of the hour. Well, it was intended for the first half of the hour. But I believe season 6 is when the show stopped. No, no, the show was still an hour at season 6. I think season 7 is when it stopped. Stopped being the hour. It's just that, but season 6 kind of like had a big episode cut, and they just like, I think it got cut to 18 episodes instead of like 20 something.
Yeah, I know Spencer is very excited for how small the next seasons are.
He'll be excited for season 8, 9, 8, 9, and 10. Like,
Oh, he has been talking about how he can see the light at the end of the tunnel. He is so excited to finally get out of 87.
Yeah, so
I mean,
yeah.
I'm excited because like we're covering a lot of episodes that like I vaguely remember, or like I just didn't see the first time around, because we're in the 90s now, and I don't remember like half of these.
So a lot of people stopped watching the show around season 6. Like, see, because season 5 was the Turtleoids, and that was like, like, oh, everyone, like, that was like, the big primetime special. Then like, I mean, but then after that, that's a kind of like the Turtle Mania was kind of waning off. And then
Yeah.
like then a couple of years later, Power Rangers entered the airwaves. And also don't forget, by this time, Saved by the Bell is also on NBC. So you have like the people who grew up, like, that's kind of like, oh, I'm out of that cartoon phase. They went into Saved by the Bell. So
See, I was never a Saved by the Bell kid, so like that missed me with that entirely. So
yeah, see, I was, but I didn't watch Saved by the Bell until it was on reruns on TBS. But like, and then also something I can't see did mention, because I did mention Shredder's Revenge, is that he got a Series S late November, and he got started playing Shredder's Revenge because it's on Game Pass. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
It actually, I think just today, if you have a Netflix account and a phone that can run it, you can play Shredder's Revenge for free.
Oh wow!
If you have a Netflix account, you can search Shredder's Revenge on the Netflix app and download it to your phone.
I'm gonna attempt to do that. I'll I'll attempt to do that both on my phone and my tablet. I know my phone is better; it runs better than my tablet. I try.
Yeah, same here. My iPad is pretty old.
I have a newer, like my iPad. I have like second generation iPad, and like I can like hardly use it for anything. As soon as it stopped working for Comixology, like now I just use it. I just give it to my son to have him watch YouTube videos on it now. But
I'll be sad when mine finally like can't run Comixology anymore.
But I have a newer Android tablet, but even that one is like less powerful than my Samsung Galaxy phone. Like,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I still wind up doing most of my reading on my phone.
Yeah, I will say, like, because of manga, and especially even on Comixology, the manga does not do the smart panels like the American comics do. That's why I read comics on my tablet, is because I really need the bigger screen, especially since manga is in black and white, and there's so much like action lines in there.
Are you using the Viz app?
No, I'm using Comixology
For the manga?
For the manga, yeah. I'm using the
Oh, that's weird.
no,
Hmm.
Comixology does not offer like, and I think because of Viz, I think because Viz does not do the programming the uh, for the smart panels.
They don't, because I have a Shonen Jump
Yeah,
account.
I used to. I
Yeah.
back when they used to sell magazines, I used to have the Shonen Jump account. I actually canceled it when it stopped doing magazines, and you have to get the chapters yourself. I didn't like that
Mm.
format. But yeah, I have all of Bakugan, not that that whatever the spin thing, but like it's a manga written by the people who did Death Note, and it's about people writing a manga like
Are you
that.
sure it's not about the tops?
I'm sure it's not about the tops.
It sounds like it's about the tops.
It's not about, every time I mention the series, people think it's the one that's about the tops. I'm like, no, it's not about the tops. It's called Bakugan, and it's done by the guy. And like you could like tell, like he was like pretty much writing all of his struggles about when he was doing
Mm.
Death Note. Especially like there's at one point where like the manga artist is like, I'm ready to end this shit. I'm ready to end this, and then the publisher's like, no, you got to continue on. And I was like, oh, that's so much Death Note.
Nice.
Yeah. You ready to get into this week's news? I think we kind of distracted people enough.
Yeah, no, I've been excited to just talk straight news. So let's get into it.
All right. So the first thing I would do want to mention is it got pretty much announced last night, and it sold out like within 2 hours, and that is the black and white Usagi Yojimbo that was exclusive to the Stan Sakai's website. This was a limited run to a total of 989 figures, uh, and it ranged from unsigned to signed to even having the slipcover, like have a sketch art like on the cover,
Yeah.
and yeah, the surprisingly
So
not like people were more complaining about the price than the actual like limitation on it, I will say.
yeah, so the reaction to this was pretty. It caused a lot of whiplash for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It originally like had been teased by NECA pretty early in the morning, like the day before it was going to go live.
Uh-huh.
And that it was going to go live on Stan Sakai's website. It was a limited edition thing. We didn't know how many there were going to be, and we didn't know the price. So come about 5 o'clock Pacific time yesterday, because Stan's in Southern California.
Right.
Come yesterday, it goes live, and we find that it's $100 is the base version.
Right.
That's just signed by him.
No,
Right?
no, no, unsigned.
It was unsigned. That's
Unsigned.
right.
Signed was 120. Now I'm
Yeah.
gonna say this: between unsigned and signed, like $20 is not that bad.
It's not
of a
that
price.
bad, no.
But the figure price was a kind of like a big shock for people.
Yeah, and so there was a lot of sticker shock for a lot of people because people were generally excited for this, and Saga Yojimbo, it's a different license than Ninja Turtles, so this really is kind of the first comic book based Usagi Yojimbo figure,
Right?
Because every other Usagi figure has been tied to Ninja Turtles in some way,
right?
and so this kind of like a lot of like Usagi, because there's Usagi fans outside of Ninja Turtles. Like there's crossover, but there's also like Usagi specific fans.
Right.
And so seeing this with that sticker shock really got to a lot of people. But the good thing is that kind of leaked yesterday, around the same time when people found out how much this was going to be. Somebody already found that there's going to be a standard release of this figure in Targets. Like people have already found the DCPI code and the barcode, so you can literally just go up to any scanner and just find out if it's in stock.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. I do want to talk about like pretty much the big difference between this one and the NECA the cartoon Usagi Yojimbo, it is like
Mm.
pretty much like the figure wise, it's in black and white. Like if you're looking at YouTube right now, you'll see the actual like figure is in like 100% black and white. If you're listening to
Mm.
just the audio, yeah, that's
It's
pretty
in
much the
black and
difference.
white.
Yeah. It's in black and white.
It's
The package is beautiful. Like
yeah.
so when they announced that this Usagi figure like last year, like oh it's going to be a separate license and
Mm.
like it was going to be uh like because like the way they were talking about it in whatever one of the interviews, like I was expecting it to be more like the package to be more unique from the other Ninja Turtle sets, and I personally I was a little disappointed. It was just like the that VHS box art. Like it didn't like it didn't like set itself like that different from the other Ninja Turtle cartoon sets. And this one, I love the art mainly because I love Stan Sakai's art, and the package is definitely like I think it's like worth it. Now, uh, now what I know we talked about this earlier, but you said that the slipcover that's unique for this Stan Sakai 989 run, right? Okay, I believe I lost Mike. Hold on. Okay. So Mike. Mike Crash. He'll be back soon. But I was talking to Mike earlier, and what he informed me was that from the leak that the actual like the figure it when it comes to Target, the only difference is that like it will have the same package. Is just that it just won't have that slipcover. That slipcover is unique to uh to their run, and obviously the signature is also you know is unique for there, but that's pretty much all we really have uh, for for this figure. I'm just curious what you guys actually think of it. Like since since there is a chance, like and here's the thing, leaks you can't like always like believe everything that comes from leaks. So there's a chance it'll be released in Target. There's a chance
Mm.
it won't be. Oh hey,
Yep, I'm back.
you are back.
So yeah, so there is always a chance that it won't necessarily be released in Target because like SKUs go up all the time.
Right.
However, this is this comes from a good resource. And Gary over at the Party Wagon podcast is a really really cool guy, and he's confirmed that this is going to be a normal release at Target.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, if it's like if it's definitely a normal release, I'll definitely pick it up because I think it's unique and I really like the box art. Like
Same.
So,
I mean, I'm disappointed that it is just the normal like Toon Usagi figure.
Yeah.
Like that is pretty disappointing. Not that it's a bad figure, but it's not like it's okay. It's a NECA Toon figure for all the good and all the bad.
Right.
Comics Usagi is a little different, so I would have preferred a more unique head sculpt.
Yeah, me too. I would have really preferred a more unique head sculpt if we could just got that. But like I like the color.
I'm also disappointed in the color scheme. Like I don't mind the black and white because that's the original color scheme for the Usagi comics. I'm disappointed that they just did his kimono all black.
Yeah.
Instead of like,
like a shade.
Well, I mean, it's not even a shade. Like it's a spotted pattern. Like it's all dots.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And even on the box art, it's they should like the box art that Stan drew.
Yeah.
It's that art. So it's like I don't know why NECA went with the all black version. Because he very rarely wears that.
Right.
but yeah, I'm pretty excited for this. I'm excited for Stan. Like every
Yeah,
time like Usagi gets way more recognition,
yeah,
like I Stan is just the nicest guy. If you've ever been to Comic-Con, uh just the sweetest man. I always make it a point to visit him. In fact, like I have a beanie that I wear every day. I have
yeah,
3 pins on it. I have an
yeah.
X-Men X. I have the Rat Queen's rat logo, and I have Stan Sakai's Usagi signature remark that he does.
Oh, nice, nice.
And
I've
those are my 3 favorite pins.
I've only met him once. It was, I don't know, back, I think like 2006 or something like that. So like
Mm.
so many years ago. I can only tell you that my picture with him is me dressed up as Yugi from the Pharaoh Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh. And like to this day, I still like regret being in ridiculous cosplay because my hair was like all over
I
the place.
I think I have a picture of me and Stan. I don't know where it is. It's definitely not on my Facebook or anything.
Yeah.
Um, but that is something I want to change. And like his wife before she passed away, like she was just the sweetest
Oh,
person too.
oh,
Like so I wish Stan nothing but the best.
yeah. No, I wish him nothing for the best. And he was so nice. He at the convention I went to, it was Anime Week in Atlanta. He was doing these sketches, and he actually gave us like the actual sketchboards. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like he did, and so the one I got was just a bunch of lines, and there was no actual character on it,
Mm.
and he actually went and he was like, "Oh, hey, like let me fix this one for you," and he drew like it's Usagi like real fast for me, and I thought
Yeah.
that was like really cool of him, like and it's just really cool because it came from like this oversized sketch pad, and like it's somewhere in my parents' house. I never found it after I moved, but I know it's somewhere in
Uh,
there. Yeah.
well, hopefully you do find it. Like yeah, because like I used to go and I would buy something from Stan every year. Um, I got through a few volumes of Usagi, but then he just started selling out of them before I could get there. So
Right.
I was got a little bummed out. But um, yeah, I'm so glad that like Usagi Yojimbo fans have like I mean, for now it's the definitive Usagi Miyamoto figure.
Right.
So yeah, I'm definitely picking this up. I didn't get it. I kind of waffled because I would have gone in on like the normal $100
Yeah.
one with the slipcase. But I for some reason Twitter's notifications are broken, and so like I have like Preternia. I used to have like I have the bell on for him, but I don't get notifications anymore,
Right.
and so I completely missed out when it went
No.
live. And then only like the more expensive versions were left, and I even like considered, I was like, oh, do I really want this? But because I make it a point to like see Stan every Comic-Con,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna buy the normal version and have him sign it.
I was this close buying the one with uh the what's it called, the actual like art on the slipcase because I thought that was like pretty
Mm,
cool. But I I like I just like new child, and I need to know what the
yeah.
hearing I need to know what hearing aid prices are first.
No, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got different demands now, so
Yeah. Yeah.
live vicariously through me, okay?
I
Uh,
definitely will.
I mean, I and like to talk about like we've been talking about the good. Like I just want to mention like the bad. Like a lot of people we talked about the sticker shock, and it was kind of disappointing to see a lot of people kind of poo pooing this and like making it like Stan's fault
Yes.
that this price, and it's like absolutely not. Like I saw some of the Reddit comments earlier, just like, oh, it's a $30 figure, and it's like, well, yeah, it's a $30 figure, but or $37 figure, but also like this is coming directly from Stan, and there's only 989 of these
Yeah.
slipcases. Like that's what makes it an exclusive.
Right. Yeah. No.
And so we're talking about like how it's only scalpers buying these, and I'm like, no, like there are Usagi Yojimbo fans who legitimately want this stuff. Like
Right. no, I definitely agree with you there. I saw too many people like write stuff like, "Oh, this is a $25 figure." I'm like, no, NECA has not sold a action figure for $25
Yeah,
in
that
like
too.
it's since 2020, guys. I mean, come on, let's be real. Inflation hit
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah,
But
it's like when was the last time like NECA did a figure that cheap? Like,
right,
come on, guys.
exactly, exactly. Yeah,
NECA's not even that much cheaper than Super 7 anymore.
no,
So
no, really, it's really not. But yeah, I was seeing stuff like that, and like, I mean, my whole thing is like, if you don't like the price, then don't buy it. Like,
yeah.
and it was that's always like my thing. Um, like I said, I mean, for me, the only reason I didn't pounce on it was because of the price, but it wasn't because I didn't think the price was unfair.
Mm.
I just like wasn't in a position to throw that money in. But
Yeah, no, definitely.
but I'm happy that because I know a lot of people who did throw the money in who are really excited for it, and I'm actually happy that they were able to get it, and that's both Ninja Turtle and Usagi fans.
Yeah, exactly. Like and I mean, and that's what does stink is that like this kind of came like right after Christmas. Like,
Yeah,
people are still recovering from that. I just paid rent last week.
right. Yeah,
My first paycheck after rent is this Friday. So it's like I was like, it's like calm down. Like it sucks, but I mean, at least there's a normal version coming
right.
for everybody as well.
Yes,
Will it be as special? I mean, that's up for you to decide. So
exactly.
I can't see says Pharaoh Yugi is his favorite anime hair.
Hey, I'm happy. I worked hard on that, like on that hair because so you got to understand
Was
this
it
was like
your hair?
no, it was a wig
It
because
was a wig.
yeah, it was a wig because my hair's black and it's like hard to kind of dye that hair. So I actually bought a blonde wig, and you have to understand like during this time, like when this came out, this is like Yu-Gi-Oh was definitely for kids, so there was no adult stuff.
Oh, it was from 4 Kids. Hey,
Yeah,
but
hey, yeah. But yeah, so I actually like went and got like a blonde wig, and because like there's blonde highlights on the hair, and then I got like spray paint, and like I had to like super glue everything to be the spikes, and then like with the spray paint I primed it with black, and then like I did the red highlights, and then made sure like all the blonde was like showing out, like it came out like really cool.
Why are you not showing that picture in on the YouTube live stream?
You know what, I did not know that this was going to come up
You
first,
didn't know that
and
we were. You brought it up.
I know I did bring it up. I just like I just didn't like prepare for this picture. I need to go
All right.
find it. I need to go find it because you gotta also understand this was before digital cameras, so I gotta go find a physical picture. Oh,
All right. All right.
all right.
You're forgiven for now.
Yeah. So
All
let's
right.
go into the next thing we're going to talk about. This is a big one that happened definitely over our hiatus, and not going to show any pictures of this because
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I got in trouble with Viacom because we're going to be talking about the Mutant Mayhem picture leaks because I will say for this movie there has been a lot like. The 2014 movie, I just remember the big one was like the Playmates action figures that like that package like went into circulation
Yeah.
before like Viacom like revealed it or something like that.
Before we get, can I start this story because
Yeah, go ahead.
this is where this is so I'm tangentially tied to this.
Yes, you are.
So
You are.
so a couple of weeks ago, right after we went on hiatus too, Colin Stein in the chat says, "Put it in the Ninja Turtle Power Hour Discord, buddy. It is already there." And I should link out to the Discord more because we need more people. But so a couple of weeks ago, I got a tip that that there was a brand deal with Paramount and a company. I forget the name of the company, but they make a chip brand.
Don't mention the
Oh,
company.
we can't mention the ship name. We can't mention the.
Cannot mention the ship name. The chip name.
Oh man.
There's
So
things we cannot mention.
So it's okay. So
it's a snack brand.
This is a company. It's a snack brand.
It's a snack brand.
So I got a tip. I got a tip that they had a deal with Paramount. So I was able to track down the press release, like the official press release, and I go and I'm looking at it, and boom, right there is a picture of the chip bag. The picture of the chip bag with the new turtles from Mutant Mayhem. Right. And I had confirmed that this was real. Did my due diligence, like a good reporter.
This is not real. Not real. I want to make sure. Hold on. No. I got lawyers.
Okay.
So this is not real. Okay, 100%. This is not confirmed anywhere.
Let's okay. So I posted it, and it blew up. I mean, obviously blew up. It was the first time that anybody had seen. It was doing gangbusters, and like, I'm happy I had posted this. A day later, we got hit on Twitter.
Right.
They
just took down your picture. Like
they just took down the picture, and it was specifically like, they don't do copyright claims. It's just the DMCA takedown.
Okay. So
and it just said like
you didn't get an email from their lawyer.
Not their lawyer, but we got an email from I think it was an email from Twitter just saying that like this has been removed, blah 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 blah. So I was like, okay, like this isn't good.
When I posted it, they didn't remove my photo. Like,
yeah, so that was that's what was weird, is that like they were kind of hitting everything a little weird. But I let a couple other people know that this might be happening. I was like, hey, like, just so you know, Paramount hit us on our Twitter, so just be careful. Maybe like in some of the Facebook groups, don't go just posting things willy-nilly. And so that happened. So then the next day after I woke up to this message, our Instagram got hit.
Oh wow.
And so the Instagram had gotten taken down. The Instagram didn't get taken down. The picture had gotten taken. The post had got taken down.
The post got taken down. Okay.
So we were like, okay. I'm just gonna take it off of Facebook. I'm just gonna delete the picture, but leave the post up.
Yeah.
And that got around it. So that post is still up.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, like, don't talk about anything about Mutant Mayhem anymore. Because like this is gonna be big. Like Paramount is coming out. Like I can't imagine that this is how they wanted the big brand reveal of the new Turtles to go.
Right. This is not how they wanted to go. And I made a tongue-in-cheek about that, and maybe that's why I got like the lawyer email from the law firm. But yeah, and to be honest, like this happened like the day after I kind of gloated to you. I was like, ha, they didn't say anything to me.
Yeah, because that was the thing, is like you gloated to me, and I was like, well. I got
an email that I had the choice to take down the photos, or they'll take it down. And this is what they have wrote. They said that these images are not for the public, and that these are not to be revealed, as nothing has been final. And once we have finalized images, that they will send it to us that we can freely distribute them. But at the time, any images that are for anything that's related to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem has not been released for public distribution.
So yeah, so that is 100% true. So since then, we have not shared anything Mutant Mayhem on our socials.
Right.
But there have been more leaks.
There has been toy leaks, which
Mhm.
are not from Playmates, which surprised me. And we're gonna,
Yeah, so several different kinds of toy leaks
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Um, there's been since the toy leaks, there's been like official marketing assets revealed.
right.
Um, and none of this is officially revealed yet.
No,
It's
no,
so
no, no, none of these. Okay, so legally, I can't say any if any of these are real. So like just from the email, because I mean, to be honest, like I don't think Viacom has access. Like probably know that we have a YouTube channel.
mm,
But I'm just covering my bases.
right.
Because like uh I like and like the thing was I voluntarily took down those images because I had
Mm,
the choice. Like, so I was like, okay, let me get on their good side. But yeah, they have like, Viacom has put Turtle Recall on like their kind of like radar now. So
yeah, and so all of that's going down. Um, and I kind of let some of the other people know, like, hey guys, like, just so you know, I wouldn't do this.
right.
And just the other day, a group on Facebook of about 150,000 people was shut down for
Oh
this.
wow.
So I don't know which group it was.
Uh-huh.
I'm in so many, I
Yeah,
honestly
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
notice. But a lot of people have been kind of flooding to some of the groups that I'm in because of this. And it's just hey, like if you've got it, share them if you want to. It's somewhere private. Don't do it in public.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
definitely don't do it in public.
like
Like, and just just know that nothing's official until they post that it's official. I'm not
yeah,
saying that I'm not saying that these images like are not going to be final. I'm not doing any of that or I mean, I just can't confirm nor deny
yeah,
if they are.
like and keep an eye on official like Ninja Turtles channels, like all of the official Ninja Turtles socials. They're not the best place for news, but they are definitely where you will get official things.
Yes, and
So
I can tell you this right now. Once Turtle Recall posts pictures, uh those will be official. Like and
same,
like yeah,
same
and
with
like
same with Ninja Turtle Power Hour. Like
yeah,
we
yeah,
will post. Like I do my dangdest to make sure that everything I post is
yeah.
real. So
The only reason why I posted the snacks was because it actually came from their press release. Like
and so that
I
well,
didn't know that
well
Mike was the one who broke it. I just but I just saw it was like floating around, and I was like, okay, let me see if this is official or not. And I went and like saw it was official, and well, I mean, it's not official. Sorry, none of it's official.
well,
But
so well, I mean, and so the thing was is like the day that day after when our Twitter post got taken down, I went back to that press release
yeah,
to see
I
like
didn't
hey,
bother
like
check.
that's where I got it from,
Yeah,
and it was gone.
yeah,
They had replaced it with a generic image.
yeah. I kind of figured that. So, yeah. So that's as far as we could go. But also just to let you guys know, there will be a snack company that will make a Ninja Turtle flavored snack for the movie.
Well, I
And
mean, yeah, we can say that because that
yeah,
is in the press release.
that is in the press release. So but that's as far as I'm gonna go. But yeah, it's just like it's so crazy. It's so crazy how like the leaks have been just keep growing and
Mm,
like I don't know if Viacom is waiting for a trailer release cut or if they want to do like another uh if they want to do like another like image reveal like they
yeah,
did for Rise like on like if you remember in Rise they had like this hour Facebook reveal
yeah.
live
No, I
and
remember that.
yeah.
I think what I'm most frustrated with is that like we're 8 months out from the movie and we still haven't officially seen the turtles.
Yeah,
We
I
haven't
think that
officially seen the turtles. We haven't officially. Like, we don't have a trailer, we don't have a teaser. Like,
Right.
that's granted, like, you and I aren't marketing guys, so like we're just armchairing this,
Right.
but it's like, why isn't that out there yet?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering too. And me personally, I was thinking like, okay, probably by February we finally get the reveal, but I
Mhm.
found out that that Toy Fair isn't till October this year. So
Yeah.
so
So
like
that
even
leads me
like
to,
the figure reveals won't be
yeah.
like till after the movie. Like, well, I wouldn't say reveals, but I should say like the actual like place where all the toy companies come and like do all the reveals isn't till after the movie air like comes in
And
theaters.
and so that leads me to believe that, like, I think something, they've got to be waiting for something. Like, they've got to be
Yeah.
waiting for something to tie to this reveal. And like, the only thing that's really going on this year for Ninja Turtles is like the 20th anniversary of 2003, which,
Right.
I mean,
They're
that's in
gonna ignore.
February, but yeah, like, and Nick's gonna ignore that anyway.
They're gonna ignore it.
But also, like, I remember, I can't remember if it was to 2014 or Out of the Shadows, but one of those got a Super Bowl commercial,
Out of the
and the
shadows
Super
does.
Bowl's, well, yeah, okay, so it was I remembered it was one of them, so it was Out of the Shadows.
It was
Um,
it was Out of the Shadows because that was because I avoid
that
trailers
was
and that
the
was the first time I ever saw like the trailer for that movie.
okay. Well, yeah, because I think that was one of the first trailer, and I think that was the Tricky trailer, which like sold me instantly.
Yeah.
Um, and so I mean, so the Super Bowl is coming up in a couple weeks, and if they just kind of do that again, I guess, but then like,
I don't
that's a
think
lot of that's a
they,
lot of money to spend for an animated movie. But then
that,
also, like, Ninja Turtles is a big brand, and this is the big brand relaunch,
right,
so it's
right,
like,
right, right. If it if the Super Bowl was on CBS this year, I would say yeah, that's a perfect time to do it. But
okay,
it's on Fox. Be,
was it
yeah,
what
this
channel was it on? CBS back when it was was it back in 2016? Was that?
I want to say yes. I have to check because if you guys don't know, the Super Bowl like rotates between the big four. Because like no, because since this is the biggest event, each
It
each
was CBS in 2016. You're
okay,
right.
yeah, I have that feeling that and because like I mean Marvel will still do their stuff no matter what channel because like Disney has that money to throw, but like Disney like there's definitely going to be whatever Marvel May movie which is Guardians
Mm,
is going to be is going to be there, but normally for most of these movies they're like whatever like their parent like whatever like the sub company is, that's like the perfect time to do it because it does not cost them that much money because they're already
yeah.
carrying it because they basically they're buying the ad space for themselves. So that's why I don't think it's going to be in the Super Bowl because it's not on CBS. If you remember the last time the Super Bowl was on CBS, that's when we had that heavy push for Paramount Plus, and that's because that cost them next to nothing to do it. And like
Mm.
and Ninja Turtles was in the Super Bowl ad. It was the 2003 Leonardo. He was in the Super Bowl ad, and like for promoting the Paramount Plus.
Yeah, no, I mean, that because that was the first time that like we had seen like really any acknowledgement of 2003 in years,
Right, right, right.
especially by Nick. So
Yeah,
to have like 2003 Leonardo be a part of that ad was like, whoa.
right.
Um, so yeah, I mean, keep it on Turtle Recall and Ninja Turtle Power Hour. Like,
Yeah,
we will definitely talk about these and show them officially when they are officially revealed.
right.
But if you want to, like I said, if you want to talk about anything, just make sure you do it in
In
private
private, yeah,
so that you don't put any groups that you may be in danger.
right.
Because yeah,
Yeah, yes, yes.
it
Yeah,
is just as frustrating for us to not be
it,
able to talk about things.
yes, yes, yes.
So
Exactly. You have no idea how like scared I was that morning when I got that email and
I say,
like
I'm glad you only got it from a lawyer, or that you're the one who got it from a lawyer. I only got a cease and desist or
yeah.
a
Oh no,
DMCA.
I freaked
So
out and like I was like, what? And I was like, oh my gosh. And like as soon as I got the email and it said like, I could volunteer to remove the post, I volunteered to remove the post immediately. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not giving them a second chance. Like, no, no, no. Uh, yeah. So because yeah, there were actually talks that my Twitter could have been shut down too as well. Uh,
Well,
yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Before we move on, Colin, he wants to say that he wants me to put my cosplay picture on the Ninja Turtle Power Hour Discord channel.
I will allow it. So
I will, like, once I find it, I got to go to my garage and get it. Once I find it, I'll post it there, and I'll also post it on the Res TV uh, Discord channel, because that's where official Turtle Recall is at. Even though we are technically not part of Res TV anymore, but Lloyd has allowed me to keep my channel there because I'm too lazy to make my own Discord. I don't know.
oh, it's nice of him.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I might just like get like Ninja Turtle Power Hour to make a Turtle Recall like channel and just.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. So keeping on leaks and uh, and Mutant Mayhem, the other big surprising thing, which like I don't know, I'm a little skeptic of this. I have like just because I've worked in the toy industry and I have a hard time believing this, and I'll go into why, like especially like with the next thing we're going to talk about. But apparently, international listings are showing that MacFarlane Toys will be making the TMNT Mutant Mayhem movie action figures, and really, pretty much the only thing that is listed is just the fact that it like now the listing themselves nowhere in there says MacFarlane. There's no like MacFarlane code on there at all. They just have an image next
Yeah.
to it that says MacFarlane Toys, and at first, like when I first heard this news, my initial thought was, okay, is Playmates bowing out of the competition? Are they like, are they seeing Ninja Turtles not profitable anymore and just giving the franchise away? Because this is not like, oh hey, we're letting NECA do our like we're doing like a NECA do like Ninja Turtle figures in Super 7, because that's not direct competition, like
Yeah.
but MacFarlane Toys is on the same aisle as Playmates Toys, and that is direct competition. And then like the next thing we're going to be talking about is the Playmate reissues, and so now I'm like, I really don't think this is happening. I think someone just put in an image because they just like they didn't know what image to put for the for the listings, and just so
Yeah.
that's what I personally think. Now I mean I don't know anything, because I like it's hard for me to believe that Playmates, who's been like delaying on making action figures for Ninja Turtles, and like when they finally have a chance to do it, they're gonna be like, oh no, we're gonna give it to another company.
Yeah. Like this. I mean, this is kind of a monkey paw situation for me too. Because like I've been saying for a while now that like I'd like to see MacFarlane try. Because I do like a lot of the modern MacFarlane figures. Like I like what he's doing with DC. I like what he's doing with some of his anime figures. Like his anime figures aren't that great, but they do fill a niche for like, My Hero Academia. Like I'm getting the villains because the Japanese companies aren't giving them to me.
Right,
Um,
right.
so there's definitely a place for like MacFarlane.
I will say
But
20 years ago, I would have like jumped up in joy to hear that MacFarlane is doing Ninja Turtle action figures. But now, like I will be honest, MacFarlane doesn't entice me as much as it did back in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I like modern MacFarlane. I like the articulation scheme that he does now. Like I used to not like MacFarlane figures because they were boring statues. Like every action figure, like if I'm going to buy an action figure, I want to pose it.
Right.
And you didn't buy a MacFarlane figure for the posing, you bought it for the sculpt.
Right.
And so when I say modern MacFarlane, I specifically mean like what he's doing with DC is what I kind of want to see with Turtles. Now lately he's been kind of hit or miss with a lot of stuff,
Yeah,
but also like really good in others. So, like I said,
I'm a
monkey
huge
paw situation.
yeah, exactly. Actually a huge Batman Beyond fan, and like when I found out like, oh, they're doing like a Batman Beyond line, I was all
Mm-hmm.
excited. But the offerings, one, because I don't care about the comics. I mean, I like the comics, but
Mm,
I like the cartoon so much better. I didn't
right.
care for that, and I'm still mad that freaking Batwoman has like a unmasked face, but not Terry McGinnis. And I'm like, whose
Yeah.
decision was there? And there's four Batman. I have all four Batman Beyond figures that they made. They're
Mm.
just repaints of each other. And I'm like, you couldn't like throw in a face at all?
It's well, I mean, and that's what's crazy is that like the Shriek figure
Yeah.
got an unmasked head.
Yes. He got it on
And
his
like
head.
in a separate release, I bought two of them, and Shriek was on my best of, I think it was best of 2021 figures.
Uh huh.
I just genuinely love that figure,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
so
also,
and so like, yeah,
also, what's crazy is that like if you want a mask Shriek, you have to buy a whole separate figure because like
no, that's what I'm saying. That's what
yeah,
I'm saying. Like I bought both of them because
right,
I wanted the masked head. The
yeah.
masked head came with the build a figure piece, I think.
Yes, the mask set came with build a figure fig the normal because I have all of them. I have like
Mm.
I even have like the even though I already have them all like in box, I have like that $80 like
Oh, you
clamshell.
got that one?
Yeah, I got that one too. Like
Ah,
yeah,
so
that's
yeah,
one like there's not much Batman Beyond merch. So
there's not. It's like I got the Blight figure because I
yeah,
really liked the Blight one.
right. I was disappointed
The
with
Terry
Blight
figure,
because I was
the Terry
disappointed.
figure was actually one of my most disappointing figures of last year.
Which one?
The Terry figure.
Terry. Oh, okay.
It was
Yeah.
it was okay. I don't like how they did the wings.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of how they did the wings, and you can't take them off. Like that's like I
Yeah.
think that's what annoys me the most about them. Uh, I wasn't a fan of the wings, especially like I mean Mattel did a better job with the wings than McFarlane did.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Like they should have just did them as like clip-ons or something. But
yeah. To be honest,
but yeah, so so I don't know. But since this came out, there's been some rumors. I think Toy News did say something that this may not be 100% accurate. Um, and like it might have been a mistranslation because again, these were international listings.
yes,
And so because one of the things that somebody had said to me, they're like, "Oh, what if McFarlane is distributing Playmates figures, kind of like how Spin Masters does in other
right.
territories for Playmates, um, which isn't a invalid thing,
No, it's not an
like an
invalid thing. I mean the
but
thing is like McFarlane is a American toy distributor.
but also um, but also McFarlane is a private company
Yeah,
and he wouldn't distribute a toy that he didn't make.
yeah. That would make sense too.
Like
Um,
that was the big no-no for me. Like
yeah. So uh, so like I said, the reason why I have doubts about this is because uh, Playmates owns like the master license, and like yes, like so many other companies have been doing Ninja Turtle action figures. One of my big reasonings why like when that whole Ninja Turtle Hasbro thing leak came out, and I was like, I was the one who was like, I take it with a grain of salt because like I was like I don't know how they're gonna distribute it because Hasbro is in the same aisle as Playmates, and as
mm,
we saw, it's like a fan channel exclusive. There's no you can't like there's no way it'll ever come into other stores other than GameStop because GameStop is in that fan channel deal. But like you're not gonna see it, and you're not gonna see those Ninja Turtle Hasbro figures next to like in the toy aisle in your Walmart because of because of that. And like, and Playmates allows NECA, like, and like the thing is like for the longest time NECA couldn't do like, figures to be in stores because of Playmates, but then they have like exclusive deals. That's why we're seeing like this, like the Toon stuff only in Target, the movie stuff only at Walmart, because that's the only
Mhm.
way they can actually do it. Because and as long as they're not in the toy aisle, Playmates is okay with that. At the same time, Playmates still takes a cut. Like, you have to understand they have the master toy license, so they're just kind of like it's not like they got it, like these companies are getting it for free. um is But like, unless if these only go to the collect, but at the same time, especially these toys are like play toys, so there's no way that I can see these like be like, oh hey, they're in the collector's aisle, like
Yeah.
and especially like the fact is like I have a hard time believing Playmates is going to be like, oh yeah, the current series, yeah, we will let someone else do that too. Usually they don't, like that's why, like that's why like NECA has doing the movie in the cartoon, and while Super 7 is like doing like the classic action figures that's not even allowed to be sold in stores.
Yeah. And I think that's another weird thing. It's like, considering how we got the last Ronin figure from NECA, but then also like we got one from Playmates too, and kind of like a Me Too, don't forget me. Um,
Right, exactly. But the Playmates one was a previews exclusive, so it wasn't like there was no direct, there was no technically direct competition between that and NECA.
yeah. So, but yeah, so we wanted to talk about this because it was news, but then since originally like it had come out, some things have changed. So
Right. Right, exactly. So, we'll find out. Like, time will tell with this one. I have a hard time believing it, but we'll definitely find out. Before we move on, I can't see says I forgot his name, but even like the OG back character in TMNT. I am trying to remember what we were talking about. Like, I'm guessing Wingnut. His mentioning. Um, can't I'm not too sure what he was referring to. Obviously it
yeah,
was
maybe
something.
Wingnut.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to figure out what the context was like during our conversation.
So, uh, all right. So what do we got next?
What we got next? Okay, this is like the big one. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I like Playmates. I mean, I'm biased against Playmates, so I was actually really excited about this. Playmates is doing a bunch of reissues, and at Target stores right now, depending on your location, there is a Ninja Turtle toy aisle again, and uh, we're so, and like I said, most of these are pretty much reissues. Some of them are little mold changes. Some of them, uh, uh, some of them are like direct reissues, and then some of them is just a little tweak. And oh, what I can't see was talking about was the Wingnuts figure with the wings. When we're talking about
Oh,
the Batman Beyond wings, like winglets, you can actually like take off his wings.
oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. Makes sense. Thank you. Thanks for clearing that up for us. I can't see. But yeah, so the big thing I do want to talk about, literally big thing, giant Ninja Turtles are getting a reissue. So these are not the exact same mold as the original Giant Turtles, and surprisingly, it's not the same package either. This is like a very generic
Oh yeah.
reissue package, and it's a like save on plastic kind of thing too, because the turtle's out in the open, very reminiscent of like the Rise Giant Turtles, like how they
So wait,
released
wait,
them.
wait, wait. So this isn't the same mold, because I thought
No,
these just weren't the same heads.
no, these are not the same mold. This is a different mold.
Oh, interesting.
These are like 25% smaller than the
Interesting.
yeah, Like so like if you compare
I
it.
haven't seen this side by side of them yet.
Oh,
So
okay. I saw someone post a side by side of them. When I get Mikey, I will try to post a side by side. I just have to go to my parents' house and
okay,
find my original Mikey.
because like my comic book shop has the 4 original giant sized turtles, like
Yeah. Oh
with the
man.
boxes and everything.
Oh man.
But they have them out of the box, kind of like dangling in the store, and they've been dangling in the store for years. Um,
If I was living
and
over there, I probably would buy them.
oh, I mean, I talked to the owner a lot about it, and like we kind of joke.
Yeah.
Um, the other guys in the store, because they know me as like the turtle guy.
Yeah.
So it was just really funny. Kevin Eastman was there about a month or two ago, and they filmed him finally dusting them
Uh-huh.
because they've been hanging for years.
Oh wow.
And so like Kevin finally dusted them, like, because I'd even talked to the owner and I was like, you probably want to dust those before Kevin gets here for the
So
signing.
Kevin was the one who dusted them?
Yeah, and so Kevin was the one who dusted them.
Nice.
I think it's on their Instagram, so if you go to Comics TNT on Instagram, you should be able to see that.
Right. But yeah, like so they are a little smaller, so definitely like and I'll try to find. Well, I know where the side by side is. I'll ask the person's permission before I post it on our Twitter.
Mm.
Because like it is I want to make sure I don't like step on anyone's toes.
Yeah.
But yeah. And now here's the funny thing is the case. There's only 3, and Mikey's missing from the case. I find it weird. Like I don't know why Mikey's missing, but at the same time, that just means that like this is obviously like they're gonna keep releasing more. I know people are going crazy to find these, and like you guys gotta understand, it's Playmates. Playmates will overproduce these things. They're like you're not gonna have a hard time finding them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally have not found them yet. I saw my so I have like 3 targets that I hit up. And one of them has the SKUs out for these. So they have the spot, but nothing was on display when I went last night.
Yeah,
so
yeah, right now this is like this season, this January is like aisle reset season. So like I mean everywhere like they're resetting everything. So more than likely they might be in the back. But
yeah.
Like I personally I as a person who used to work retail, I hate the question when people ask me, hey, can you look in the back? Because it's like, hey, if it's out, it's out. All right, but just be patient on these. I will
as
say,
a person who also worked retail, I also know that it's probably in the back. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But be nice to whoever you're asking.
Yes.
If they say it's not in the back, do not fight them on it.
Do not fight them on it. Yeah, exactly. Even if
they want if they offer to go, yeah.
Computer says like, oh hey, there's like 7 in the back, because I know the Target thing like tells you how much is in the back. If they say they don't see it, just they don't see it. Okay. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You don't know what the back looks like. I'm just saying.
If they offer to go in the back, then you be incredibly nice to that person.
Right, exactly.
But do not expect them to do it.
Yeah, exactly. The one thing I do want to note is, even though Mikey is not the one that's released, Mikey pretty much has the most changes because his nunchuck doesn't have the rope on it, and that was like the best feature of like the giant turtle of Mikey was the rope. And also we kind of touched on this, that the faces are not they're not the same. They're all, I'm sorry, they're not the original faces. They're all Raphael's head. So they just took Raphael's head mold and just they repainted it three different times.
Because if you haven't seen the original figures, the original turtle, like giant sized turtles, were just giant sized versions of the original small figures. Like, so like everything about them was just bigger.
Right.
And so with these, like, and that's kind of weird that these are so much smaller too, because like I was telling people that like, hey, like this is a good opportunity to, because one of the most common things that are lost with those giant turtles are the belts.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, you could just buy these and replace the belt on your original giant size turtles. But no, apparently you can't do that.
No, no. Like,
So that's really weird.
yeah. Now something like, I do want to note is if you've seen the original giant size package, like the from back in the 90s, like
Mm.
all the turtles in that one do have Raph's head. Like, so I've seen people like theorize that like, oh, maybe this is a throwback to the package. I don't think so. I think this is just Playmates being cheap.
I mean, that is just the generic, like the art on the front, like of the turtles. That's the original art from back in the day, from the original figures. But this kind of style of figure, like Raph's, the font that Raph's name is written in,
Yeah.
That's very much new, like
Yeah.
Playmates Turtles brand.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm talking about the original, like the blue box package.
No, yeah, and so no, I'm just talking about these ones specifically.
Yeah.
And like the old blue box was really cool. Like,
Yeah.
I like that original blue box.
I like that original blue box too. I was, to be honest, I was a little bummed that didn't go with that blue box, because most of these re-releases have the original box with the go with it. I have a feeling it's because of cost, and because plastic
probably.
Plastics is expensive. Like, and that's a lot of plastic you got to do.
Yeah.
In there, and also like ship it, like those boxes make the shipping heavier. And it's
exactly.
And it's probably also because of the fact that these are smaller than the original figures, that they probably like, that's probably why they didn't do it. I don't know if they lost the molds or if this was a better way for them to go at it, but but they are smaller. The other re-releases that we have, I'm actually really excited about these, even though I have all these in mint on card, and I just like to show it off whenever I can on social media. But the storage shell turtles are also coming back on Target as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited for these. I loved the original storage shell turtles. Like, something about them, it's just a cool concept.
It is a really cool concept. I'm going to be completely honest. Like the 2012 storage shell turtles, I was okay with. I did not like the Rise storage shell turtles.
Oh, the Rise ones are terrible.
Yeah.
They had that like push down on their head gimmick, and I hated that.
Yeah. And that, and like they didn't actually come with extra weapons. Like for Leo, you had to fold up his sword and put that.
Yeah, you folded up his sword. Yeah, hated it.
Yeah.
I bought them because those heads were more show accurate, and so I put those heads on my original Rise figures. But so what I wanted to say was so like storage shell is one of those like those variants of turtles that Playmates is like, because these original storage shell turtles like sold like gangbusters. Like everybody had these.
Everyone
and
had
so
these.
so Playmates
put them in the shell. Everyone still lost the weapons.
Yeah. And so Playmates very much made sure that every version of turtles afterward have a storage shell version of them. So this is kind of one of those evergreen variants. So to see the originals again is really cool.
Yeah.
I am really excited to get these.
Yes.
And just because like I have the original figures. In fact, like I have the 1998 re-releases.
Oh, nice.
And those are kind of like my go-to turtles, like for on the shelf. Like, do I want some 88s? Yeah, probably. But like, I like my 10th anniversary ones. Like, if you didn't know the difference, then you would just assume these were 88s. Because like out of the package, there's no difference.
No.
Like they even say 1988 on
Yeah,
them.
it's on their foot. They say 1980 on there. There's no difference between them. I'm excited to get these because, like I said, I have all 4 of these mint on card, and like now I can like go and get them and just open them and actually like display them because I've lost.
Yeah, you could actually play with them now.
I can actually play with them exactly because like it's. When I have like all my older figures that are still like carded, I'm like I can't open them. Like it's a mental thing. The last thing I want to talk about is that Playmates has a new line, which is called the Ninja Elite series. And
so this is really interesting.
Yeah.
So kind of getting in on that Marvel Legends Black series, right. All those different names for 6-inch line figures. Playmates is getting in on it with the Ninja Elite series, and it's not a bad idea in concept.
No. To be honest, this is actually I like the idea. I'm not impressed with the execution.
I think as the first figures out of the gate, it's kind of a little disappointing.
Yeah.
Because they are pretty much re-releases. Yes. Now, that being said, these are all good re-releases, specifically because 2 of these in the first wave, it's Michelangelo from the 1990 movie, it's Leo from the 1990 movie, the Triceraton figure from the 2-packs last year, and the Shredder from the 2-packs last year.
Right.
All 4 of these figures have not been re-released before.
No.
And 2 of them.
The movies have been released.
Not tech. Yes and no. And I'll explain why.
Okay.
But 2 of these, the Triceraton and Shredder, this is the first time that they're available on their own.
Yes, this is the first time they're available on their own,
which was a big complaint when they first re-released. A lot of people said, "I just want those. I don't want the 2-pack of the Turtles I already have."
Right.
So this is, Playmates kind of saying, hey, put your money where your mouth is. You said you wanted these single card, so here it is.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I didn't buy those 2-packs. So I'm gonna get these.
I did buy those 2-packs, so I have no plans to buy either of these.
And that's fine. Now the movie ones, they did technically re-release them, but they re-released them as the Secret of the Ooze Turtles with a lot more accessories and heads.
And then they got actually re-released
different skin tones.
Yeah, different skin tones. But these got re-released again. Like if you got like the Sewer Squad points, you could have got it for free.
Nobody got Sewer Squad points, so that doesn't count. That doesn't count, Jason. You know it.
Do not watch our videos. We've unboxed the Sewer Squad.
All right, well, fine. But I'm not counting that as a true re-release like this. That's not a mass market re-release.
It was no. To be honest, it's not a mass market re-release, but it was like it was like a good way to get like, and that was like I think that cost like 100 points, and that was like the most points. Like when basically we had to buy every Rise figure available.
And see, okay, and so I really like those movie figures from Playmates. I think, and I've been asking, granted, I have the Secret of the Used ones.
Yeah.
I finally found an eBay lot that sold them all for a price that I was comfortable with.
Yeah.
Because they're really good figures.
They are.
And I want to use them for customs.
Yeah.
But like I said, this is the first time that they're really being re-released in mass market.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people didn't get the chance to get these figures. Now, does it stink that they are competing with NECA? Yeah, absolutely. But you can't get a NECA turtle for this cheap anymore.
No.
A NECA movie turtle.
No, a NECA movie turtle is not that. It does not go that cheap, and also this is going to be much easier to find than.
Yeah.
And
you
also gotta understand this is for a different audience.
it's for a different audience. It's for that dude that just wants a turtle on the shelf.
Right.
And it's like he'll see this, he'll be like, "Oh, I remember the original movie. I loved the original movie."
Yeah.
And he'll buy it.
Right.
Or she. But the really cool thing about this is that it comes with a trench coat. And now granted, Mikey and Leo didn't wear trench coats in the movie.
No, it was only Raph.
It was only Raph who wore one.
Yeah, but it's still cool that it comes with the soft goods trench coat. Like at least for like people who do actually have the original figure that was like released in Toys R Us like so many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They had like, you know, this is a incentive for them if they really like that figure a lot, that they can go at least get one to give it to their Raph if they have it, or like, you know, for the people who did miss out, they have a chance to do this. And you can still give these trench coats
Or
to like the those 2-packs that you just got last year.
Or you can buy these and have some 112 scale trench coats to use.
Right.
Like
yes.
So like for toy customizers like me, that's a good deal.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
If I can get 4 of those and I know they'll at least fit my turtles, I've got a lot of turtle figures that I can put them on.
Right. No, I definitely agree with you. The only thing I will say for Playmates on this is what I really felt Playmates should have done way back in 2020 when they canceled the Rise toy line. And like they're trying to find like, you know, instead of like not having a replacement and just killing that part of the aisle, like I wish they did they started this Ninja Elite series at least then, because even back then that was like the big rise of like all the collector figures, because that's when He-Man started coming back from Mattel. Like you know, Hasbro just released the Lightning Collection line from Power Rangers, which was a much successful release than Bandai's Legacy Collection. But like it's just like it feels like now it's too late. And
like this is Playmates playing catch up. Which really sucks for them, because now a lot of the narrative is kind of turned into like, oh, why do I want these? I have Super 7. I have NECA. I have, you know, the Mezco turtles just got announced. I wanted to talk about that tonight too, because like that's a huge release, and those come with soft good clothes too.
That is. We're going to talk about them next week, actually. But
oh, we are. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just because we had
spoiler alert, I bought them.
So, nice.
Bought them instantly. But with these, like, I'm really excited for these. I want to see Playmates succeed, because I know they can. Playmates is really good. Playmates has got fantastic sculpts for their toys. And it's like the Triceraton is a really good looking figure. Like the that looks.
I'm gonna say this Triceraton because like that was like their first new figure for like in like 3 years.
Like,
and I loved that figure. That like that came out 2021, I believe. That was like my favorite figure.
That was the 2-pack. That was from the 2-packs last year. That's a really good looking figure, and like really shows you that like Playmates can make a good toy.
And I was actually really happy that they went with Triceraton and they didn't they actually went with like a lesser known character. Now personally I would have liked Krang, but like it was the fact of like, oh, that was a big surprise, was like, you know, like, hey, we went with this one. And I'm gonna say this, Shredder to me is a disappointment. I don't like, even in hand, like Shredder just does not match with
I mean the original Shredder prototype from the classic collection looked a lot better, and most of that figure is the same. It's for some reason they changed the head to be smaller.
The whole body smaller. Like
It's
like
it's a lot of it is still the same.
yeah,
I did a side by side a long time ago, and a lot of it is the same.
yeah.
The chest is the same. I think the
Mhm.
arms are a little bit different. I got to find that side by side, but it's definitely the head, the shoulder blades, a lot of stuff.
Well, like,
Um,
because if you put him next to the turtle, like he dwarfs,
it's
and like
way,
he
yeah,
dwarf,
it's way shorter.
and
Yeah, it's
he
way
dwarfs against Roxanne Bebop too. It is like I just remember Anna and I were making fun of him. We're like, oh, like we're really Roxanne Bebop are going to take orders from the shrimp. Like that's like what we're like talking about.
yeah,
We were so disappointed with the shrimp. Triceraton is still small compared to Rocksteady and Bebop and the Turtles, but
mm,
he at least scales better than Shredder. Shredder for some
yeah,
reason, and like even his weapons are like the size of like the or classic Playmates figures.
yeah. So that's kind of weird. But like I said, like I want to see this Ninja Elite series be a success. What I don't, another thing I kind of don't like about it is that on the Triceraton figure, it says inspired by the classic TV series. The Triceratons were never on, or at least
That they were in one episode.
not this style of Triceraton.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
That's right. It's like because they had like the little pom poms on their thing.
yeah.
Yeah, like
And so like this is kind of a generic Triceraton, not like that was like Zog and Xerax and
like
uh
yeah, like but at the same time, like this was like the one that they released for like the action figure like back then anyway.
oh yeah,
So
like this is based on the action figure, and so I kind of wish they had just said that instead
yeah,
of based
it's
on
a
the cartoon.
based on the cartoon. Yeah, no, I understand. Something I was impressed with the back of the giant turtle. And like I really because when I first like saw these, I was like I don't think Playmates would mention this. I was surprised that they mentioned this. It was Murakami Wolf Swenson
Oh,
production, and I was like
weird.
yeah, like I was like wow, Playmates is actually like mentioned that. I would like they usually just ignore that stuff like because
Maybe they have to.
I don't know. Maybe they have to. I have no idea. But like I was just in shock like that. Like because usually
Yeah.
people like that's like one like people like kind of ignore the fact that it's like done by like Fred Wolf. They kind of like they'll give the credit to Eastman Layard before they give it to that production company.
Yeah. Uh I see I can't see says I've always been curious how many of those digital TMNT figures from last year sold. I think you're talking about the Auto T
The auto T
figures.
stuff those sold a lot actually.
Yeah.
They
I think a lot of people bought them because those were like that black and white Shredder and the Foot Soldier were really popular, as
all
well as like a lot of people wanted the original colors for Renette.
a lot of people wanted the original colors for Renette. To this day, I still don't know anyone who put them on the vault. I know everyone who bought the figures and got the figures.
Yeah.
My Walmart actually has like the quote unquote kiosk because the kiosk are just like little tiny cards for you to buy and put it at get to the go to the shelves.
Mm,
The only cards they have left is the foot soldier. Like they have like two foot soldiers left.
okay.
So and like that to me that told me that people who bought that one knew exactly what it is and how exactly to do it and like they got the ones that they wanted from the store um, so I think it sold pretty well. I don't know if it sold well enough to like do the Mirage Casey Fugitoid where and the other one that's supposed to be coming out like in that auto T wave. I don't know if we're gonna see movie figures done that way. Like I have no idea how
Yeah.
Kino is gonna be released. I don't know if Kino is gonna be released that way or not either. Um, I mean,
I don't think Kino would. But
see, you would not think, but NECA has like showed stuff because at the same time, Kino also comes with a scooter, and I have a feeling that Walmart's not going to like give them give them like shelf space like for a bigger thing of Kino in a scooter because the scooters are bigger than a figure.
Well, yeah, and I think Trevor Zamet from NECA. I think he said something on Whoosh, or might be YHS Toy Anxiety. I think one of those talked about that figure and how they were going to sell it. I got to go back and watch the interview. I think it was the Whoosh interview,
Uh-huh.
um, where he talked about it. But yeah, it yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll find out. I mean, I'm to be honest, I'm curious if they're gonna do another. I have a feeling they'll at least do like one more wave. I think it's sold enough to warrant another wave. To be honest, I
Yeah.
mean, which is unfortunate. Like for people who are hoping this was gonna crash and die, I don't think it did, and I think it's because people want the figures so bad that they didn't care that they had to do this extra hoop.
Yeah. So yeah, Jason, it's been about an hour and a half.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that everything we got?
yeah. We got pretty much everything. Look forward to the podcast this week. I will be talking about Shredder's Revenge. Next month we'll go back with Anna with what going back to the Ninja Turtles. Like we'll finally finish season 4 sometime in 2023, and maybe we'll be caught up with Ninja Turtle Power Hour. Probably not. Like I think you guys will finish
I
before we
think
do.
yeah, Spencer's goal for 2023 is to just power through. So
Power through.
we're actually for next week we're going to be jumping back to the IDW books to talk some Armageddon game,
Yeah.
and then we'll be back for yeah.
Yeah. And to answer I can't see's last question, if we covered the TMNT Empire to crossover comic yet, we have not, but at the same time, I don't want to bring up comic book storylines or like any kind of like media storylines
Mm.
in here. I've been like hearing a bunch of stuff, but at the same time, I'm also trying to avoid it because
Mm.
I'm not going to read it until everything is full. I just know that the first issue has been released and that I have the first issue cover because it has a really kick-ass Kevin Eastman cover on it.
I got the homage to Mirage #1
Oh,
cover.
nice. Oh, with the
Um,
Rangers.
yeah, with the where the Rangers are doing the pose from Mirage #1.
Yeah.
I can't see. We on Ninja Turtle Power Hour, we're not doing the second one just yet, just because we're powering through 87 and we're doing the Armageddon game from the main IDW universe. But we did release a episode about the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Turtles crossover over there. So if you want to just talk about that, go check that one out. That's a more recent episode, I think.
Yeah.
We did it for kind of a memorial for Jason David Frank. So
And how did you not invite me? Like, do you know?
it was a last minute.
Uh-huh.
You were you were still on maternity leave.
Yeah, probably was. Yeah.
Two, it was a last minute. It was a last minute schedule change. We had a listener write in and ask if we could cover that for Jason. So
gotcha. But I will say, also, like I know I did the review for Raph and Tommy. We are planning to do the rest of the figure reviews because like we did get them from Hasbro, and I know we've been sitting on them for over a year now. But we will be doing reviews. I'm actually getting with because we actually got a new videographer for our channel, and we're scheduling that out to actually start doing like the reviews for the rest of the figures, and people will get to hear my unpopular opinion of the Green Ranger Shredder. Because a lot of people had gave it all praises. I'm like, whoa,
that was almost a top figure for me for 2022. So
that was like my biggest. That was a big disappointment.
Oh man.
I'm just gonna say the knees suck. Like.
I mean, my knees suck. So
yeah. But
at my
that's
age.
All,
so.
But that's all we got. Come here next week, and next week we will be talking about Mezco. I promise. We just just avoided it this week just because we had a lot of other stuff to talk about.
All right.
Till next time, guys. See ya.